I must emphasize that clarity is still needed on several matters. And we must therefore be proactive and prospective.
That was Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness at Expo Jamaica as he addressed the imposition of a 10% baseline tariff on all imports into the United States, which includes Jamaica. This took effect on April 5. Dr. Holness says the government is conducting a detailed technical assessment to fully understand the scope of new tariffs announced by the U.S. This process, he asserts, will involve relevant ministries and agencies and will also seek to assess the implications for Jamaica's trade and industrial policy. Prime Minister Holness explains that nearly 90% of Jamaican exports to the United States enter under the preferential terms of the Caribbean Basin Initiative, CBI, which provides non-reciprocal duty-free access for a wide range of products to the U.S. market.
However, the new U.S. tariff regime, rooted in a broader policy of reciprocal trade balancing, has raised serious concerns about the future of these preferential arrangements. While the government of Jamaica has not yet received formal notification on the precise implementation procedures, including whether these new tariffs will override existing CBI provisions, we are actively engaging with the United States Trade Representative and other relevant authorities to seek urgent clarification.
Prime Minister Holness says this shift in global trade policy could impact Jamaica's market access to our largest trading partner.
We will use every available diplomatic channel, including working with our CARICOM brothers and sisters and utilizing the Office of Trade Negotiations to seek to preserve the positions our exporters have secured over decades of deepening trade ties with the United States.
The Prime Minister says preliminary analysis indicates that some of our top exports may fall under exempted product categories, and the government is working to confirm and, where possible, to expand these exemptions. He also gave this assurance.
It is important to emphasize that these developments do not reflect any erosion in the long-standing and strong bilateral relationship between Jamaica and the United States. Rather, it reflects a broader recalibration of U.S. trade policy that is global in scope.
As the nation comes to terms with the adjustments to U.S. trade policy, Prime Minister Holness is insisting that any response must not jeopardize our seat at the table and ability to negotiate on the people's behalf.
We must be resilient. We must be able to absorb the hit and recover. And we must put ourselves in a position to always be welcomed at the table to negotiate. And where we have our truths and strong positions, we must speak them clearly without fear to authority and powers. And we do it without bombast, hysterics, and hyperbole. And we get the job done.
Dr. Holness insists that in this new uncertain world, Jamaica stands on its own 2 feet, proud and working to secure our economic independence.
So yes, it is uncertain time. But we have done the necessary work. We have built the relationships. We have placed ourselves in strategic positions to be heard and to be heard from and to be consulted. When these changes are going to happen, we know that they could have long-term impact. We started planning long ago. So when you don't hear me say and run out and make statements, because you have a government that is thinking very carefully, very strategically. I play chess, not draft.
Addressing local manufacturers and exporters, Prime Minister Holness is urging them to stay alert and in a position to be responsive to global trade dynamics. This includes being prepared to absorb shocks and recover, as well as to seek out opportunities that may arise.
Maybe a decade ago, the word disruptive would have been an inherently bad thing. In today's world, you require disruption of systems for there to be innovation and new opportunities. So whilst we see the downside of the disruptive global order that we have now, we are not going to sit by and wait. Be the entrepreneur. Be the one who is the risk taker. Be the one who is looking for the opportunity.
As it directly relates to the new U.S. trade tariffs, Dr. Holness is assuring exporters that the government will work with them to mitigate any potential dislocation.
So to our manufacturers and exporters, we understand the uncertainty this announcement has created. And we are with you every step of the way. You are not only integral to our economic strategy, you are national champions of our resilience and ingenuity. The government will continue to advocate on your behalf and ensure that your interests are protected in any new global trade architecture.
And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.